Hello everyone, this is Abdul Latif and I'll be presenting today on the chapter 2 of Fundamentals of Business Process Management, that is process identification. So, delving deeper into the topic, so what is process identification? So, I'll be covering the focus on mainly the process architecture, the categories, the relationships between these processes, what are the different models like the process landscape models, the process selection, what are the selection criterias, how is the process performance measures, and what's the concept of a process portfolio. So these concepts are crucial for organization to understand as they strive for better efficiency, optimization, and success in their operations. So getting to the next slide. What is the context of process identification? Basically, it's a strategic context of an organization. So this concept of customer value proposition posits that the product and service related attributes of price or quality, availability, selection and functionality, service and partner relationships, as well as brand image are valued by customers. So strategy can be operationalized in different ways. So one prominent option was given by a balanced scorecard, was a structure of balanced scorecard by Kaplan and Norton, which had almost like all the different steps broken down, like the financial perspective, the individual perspective. So the goal was broken down into different steps, which we can see in the next slide. So mainly it's broken down into sub goals, four sub goals of improving the cost structure, increasing asset utilization, and expanding revenue opportunities and enhancing customer values. So here you can see the balanced scorecard by Kaplan and Norton. So here you can see the four different subgroups where it were divided. So if you see the financial perspective, it has like improved cost structure, increased asset utilization, long-term shareholder value, expand revenue opportunities, and enhance customer values. And if you see at the customer perspective, the product or service attributes, they mainly check the price, quality, availability, the selection, and the functionality. So what is the relationship between them? So the relationship will be the service and the partnership. An image should be of the brand. Okay, so this is what the customer looks for. And next would be the internal perspective, how the management sees it. So operation management processes, it has a supply, production and distribution risk management. And the customer management process, it will have the selection, acquisition, retention, growth, innovation process, regulatory and social process. And the last one is learning and growth perspective, culture, leadership, alignment, and teamwork. This all scorecard were designed so as to like uh, improve it provides a high level view of organizations processes, their interdependencies, and the flow of activities across different functions and departments. A well-defined process always allow a better coordination and a collaboration and alignment of activities towards achieving like organizational goals. So the thing is like the customer perspective was influenced by internal perspective as defined by process of our operations management, customer management, innovation, and regulatory compliance, as we saw in the last slide. The balanced scorecard underlines mainly the importance of business processes for implementing the business strategy. Now let's go to the next slide. What's process architecture? What is it? So process architecture is basically provide a representation of processes that exist in an organization. So it has to face the complexity of complete organization, the whole organization basically. So in order to approach, there's a systematic way of how this complexity should be followed. So we differentiate mainly into first, like we differentiate categories of processes. Then next would be we describe different relationship between processes that are important in process architecture. And thirdly, we are present a method for defining the process landscape as a top level representation of the process architecture. So let's get into deep and let's know what the process architecture wants to let us know. So this is a value chain model of known as Porter's value chain model for process architecture, which is divided into three different uh, processes. Like first one will be management process, core process, and support process. So like managing the process, some researchers in the past said that there are only two processes, where the mainly that would be managing the product line and managing the order cycle, and others identify there are three major processes, like developing new products, developing products to customers, and managing customer relationships. So one of the most important categorization scheme in Porter's value chain model would be like it distinguish two categories of processes that are core and support processes. So management processes were added as a third category. So let's see what these process categories are meant to. So within an organization, classified into different categories based on their nature and purpose. And the common purpose includes core processes, support processes, and management processes. So core processes are directly related to the organization's primary value creation activities, such as product development, sales, and customer service. So support processes, on the other hand, provide the necessary infrastructure and the resources for the core processes to function efficiently. So, such as IT, support, human resources, and procurement. Lastly, we have management processes that encompass activities related to strategic planning, performance management, and governance. And you can see that define the vision, develop strategy, implement strategy, and manage risk. Yeah, so coming to this processes, they comprise to make up the value chain model, and the support processes, as I said, that management processes are encompass activities related to strategic planning, performance management, and governance. And coming to support processes, on the other hand, provide the necessary infrastructure and resources for the core processes to function efficiently, such as IT support, human resources, and procurement. And the core processes are as follows, where this include the design and development, manufacturing, marketing, and sales, deliveries, after sales, and direct procurement. So what are the relationship between processes? So coming to the relationship between the processes, there are three types basically. It's vital for organization to optimize their operations. Processes are interconnected and rely on each other and achieve desired outcomes. For example, the output of one process may serve as the input for another process. Processes related, they are interconnected. So recognizing these relationships helps organizations identify dependencies, streamline handoffs, and eliminate redundancies. It also enables them to identify critical processes that require special attention and resources. So sequence, decomposition, and specialization. So you can say again a value chain model for sequence, decomposition, and specialization. You can see that sequence follows some methods like procure materials, procure products, market products, deliver products, manage customer service, and the decomposition and specialization. You can see the dotted line between this procure products, process parts, and assemble parts. These all are interconnected. And specialization, handle job application. So handle job application in different countries like Austria and Germany. This is the specialization. Now let's go into what this specialization, decomposition, and sequence meant for. So sequence is basically the logical progression from one step to the next in a process is determined by the sequence, which includes like multiple steps or tasks. So within a business, a process are carried out and referred to as a sequence. It specifies the interdependencies and flow between distinct activities and responsibilities. What is decomposition? So decomposition is basically what do you say? It's a complex process into breaking down the complex process into a smaller and more manageable sub processes. The main process can be broken down into sub process and then into more specific activities, resulting in a hierarchical representation of the processes, like we have seen in the last slide, where the dotted line representation represented that we have divided one part into different subcategories, sub processes basically. And what is specialization? Specialization is the idea of breaking up or allocating certain duties or tasks to people, jobs, or departments within a process. Managing specific tasks or sub-processes like identifies, allocating, specializes resources or talents. So specialization, again, we have seen in the last value chain model, where you can see that the job handling was divided into two of them, that was for different countries. All right, let's go to the next slide. So you can see that the process architecture with three levels. So what are the process architecture with three levels? Like process one, the value chain model for process landscape. What's a level two? The business processes. What's a level three? The sub processes and tasks. So reuse of reference models. So another important concept in process identification. So reference models are standardized frameworks or templates that capture best practices and industry standards for specific processes. Organizations can leverage this reference model to streamline their own processes, saving time and effort in process design and implementation. By reusing established reference models, organizations can benefit from proven methodologies and avoid reinventing the wheel. So, standardization enhances the interoperability, that encourages uniformity, and streamlines the development process. By building on tested foundations rather than from scratch, organizations can save time and effort by reusing reference models. All right, so this was the reuse of models. Now comes the process landscape model. That's a level one. So level one process landscape model provides a visual representation of organizations processes and their relationships. This models illustrate the overall structure and hierarchy of processes. So this helps the stakeholders gain a comprehensive understanding of organizations process landscape. Process landscape models facilitate communication, decision making, and process improvement initiatives by providing a shared visual language that everyone can easily comprehend. The main thing, like I would say, this that this model if enables efficient coordination and collaboration by allowing stakeholders to visualize the flow of information, the flow of information resources, and the decision across the departments. So the design and improvement of this enterprise systems heavily rely on the process landscape concept. It offers a visual depiction of the full range of organizational processes. So here we can see the Vienna's public transport operator Wiener Linien. So management process, again divided into three of them. So management process, the core processes, and the support processes. So manage processes, again the manage front enterprises, communicate in and out, manage processes, manage quality, manage risk and opportunities, manage innovation. So you can see from the support process first, the manage personnel, manage financials, manage information materials disruptions, and provide winter service. This all, like, these are the support service. What are the core? Okay, the thing is customer relationship, the which operate the vehicles, transport customers, and provide infrastructure. They all are merging up here at the transport customer. And the transport customer, they are meant for foster relationships, check vehicles, evaluate transport, and evaluate infrastructure. So this concludes like the process landscape for how a public transport. This is an example of how the public transport operator Wiener Linien was prepared for a process landscape model. So this Wiener lean and process landscape model is a structured method of controlling the numerous processes required in running an effective and dependable transport network. So the overall Vienna public transport system performance is intended to be optimized via Wiener lean processes landscape model. Planning, scheduling, operations, and maintenance procedures are combined. So an excellent example of process architecture and identification can be seen in SAP's process architecture. So SAP leading enterprise, you know that SAP is a leading enterprise software provider, has developed a comprehensive frameworks for organizing and categorizing processes. Their process architecture defines four main operation domains: operation, customer relationship management, product and service innovation, and corporate management. Each domain is further subdivided into subdomains and specific processes, providing a structured and holistic view of the organization's processes. So here you can see again the support processes, the core processes, and management processes in a SAP's process architecture. So additionally, SAP's process design offer a wide range of visibility and report options. Real-time process monitoring is made possible by it, enabling businesses to monitor performance indicators, spot bottlenecks, and make informed decisions. In general, like SAP's process architecture provides a strong framework for successful and efficient business processes. So, the strong process architecture is demonstrated by SAP, a top supplier of business software solutions in the enterprise systems. Now let's shift our focus to what is process selection. So process selection involves deciding which process to prioritize for improvement of transformation initiatives. Organizations need to consider various factors when selecting processes, such as their impact on business objectives, customer values, strategic importance, and feasibility of improvement. It is crucial to align processes selection with the organization's overall strategy and prioritize processes that will yield the most significant benefits. So in order to ensure a seamless implementation, the chosen processes are then integrated into the enterprise systems with the necessary customization and configuration. And in the end, efficient processes selection in enterprise systems enables businesses to optimize operations, boost productivity, and promote sustainable growth in the fast-paced business climate of today. What will be the selection criteria? It plays a vital role in the process selection process. This criteria helps organizations evaluate and compare processes based on predefined metrics or parameters. Common selection criteria includes process complexity, process performance gaps, potential for automation, customer impact, and regulatory compliance. By applying this criteria, organizations can make informed decisions about which processes to be focus on and allocate resources accordingly. To ensure continuous improvement and performance tracking, organizations need to establish process performance architecture. So, what are the process performance measures? So, when analyzing and redesigning a company's process, a financial aspect is a common performance parameter. It would have been feasible to emphasize turnover, yield, or income in addition to cost, which is what we are learning here. We are referring to here. So, the effectiveness of processes and whether they are achieving the desired aims and objectives can be determined using these measurements. A business processes quality can be evaluated from at least two different perspectives, that of the client and that of the process participants. The flexibility of a business process is the criterion that is least frequently used to assess the impact of process reform. The ability to adapt to changes is a common definition of flexibility. So these are the performance measures. And what are the process portfolios need to follow? Like to ensure continuous improvement and performance tracking, organizations need to establish process performance measures. And this measures helps organization assess the effectiveness and efficiency of their processes and identify areas. A comprehensive understanding of this processes, relationships, interdependencies, and alignments with organizational goals and objectives is provided by the process portfolio. So basically, it serves throughout the inventory of the processes used in the organization operations, from support functions to core business operations. And lastly, I would like to show you the process portfolio of a financial institution. So here you can see the process portfolio for an financial institution, and the feasibility levels. You can see the feasibilities, the low, medium, and high feasibility. The what's the selection focus? When you're seeing what's a loan controlling, the loan decision is low, the loan controlling comes in high, and handling the payments, loan market, what comes in, these are important, these are high, and the rating is low. Loan planning comes in high, and loan application comes in high. So this is how a process portfolio of financial institution is made. Yeah, so this covers the process portfolio of financial institution, and thank you for your patience, and that's all from my side. Please comment if you have any queries. I'm here to help you out. Thank you and have a good one.